Welcome to the NWV Model Railroad Association. I just realized recently that I had not done an update on the progress on our layout in 4 years, and there's been a lot of changes around here. And today I hope to show you some, most, all of the changes. And we're going to start out. Last time we followed a train from the south yard to the north yard, and so today we'll start with the north staging yard. We call it Champlain Yard. And there's our train right there. Hopefully I have my siding set here. And this is a portion that we call Champlain Mill. Let's see if I can get it to show. I'm trying to back up here. Another member and I spent a lot of time in here, scenicking in the last couple of years. Nice backdrop from Lark Products. You should see flashing. Yes, there's the crossing light flashers. So we spent some time here adding some buildings, some lights. George put in crossing lights there. All in this area we call Champlain Mill. And let's keep going. And this town here is called Mill. Mill is the northernmost switching district on the layout. And then heading south, the next town is Maple Corners. And as I think I mentioned previously, Maple Corners is the oldest part of our layout. You can tell it's Maple Corners because of the plane overhead. Maple Corners dates back to 79-ish and was originally made as a switching module. Members would take it around to area train shows. And the last time we had a tour of the layout, this area was partially scenic, slightly scenic. Now we have it scenic anyways, and we're building, but there's still some work to be done in here. And then we go into a tunnel, and then there's a hole in the wall here. And again, changes since last time. We now have a powered switch. You used to reach in and hit the switch by hand, but now we have a powered switch and lights so that you can actually see which way it's facing. And we come out of the tunnel, and we come into Evergreen. And here's another town. Oh, what happened? This is another town that we have been lighting. Where's the switch? There we are. The lights are on now. Evergreen has several industries for switching. And the local switchers come out here from Arlington Yard and do the switching in Evergreen. And the train heads into the tunnel, and there's a helix underneath there. I think it's about a turn or a turn and a half, and it'll come out up there. And part of the Evergreen turn involves switching up here at the power plant. Right now we're in the process of changing some of the operations. You'll notice there's some coal cars and some wood chip cars. We're converting it to wood chip operations, so there's going to be a change. Our train's coming around the mountain. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There she is. The old power plant, somebody just went punk. The old power plant up there is a model of the Burlington Electric power plant in Burlington, Vermont, which is now just a structural steel architecture. I don't know what you call it. And this is the new power plant, and it runs on wood chips. And the power complex is named after a former member of the club, sadly passed away. I'm in the power junction, past the outhouse, and along through the trees to Glenn's Bridge. And we come up here, we're going to do a loop into a tunnel. Past the alien hunter over there. And the tunnel goes behind the roundhouse here. And we'll come out over there. Now there's been a lot of changes here. You can see the office building over there, and lights in that. We have lights here around the engine house. We have some floodlights there. And I'm going to slow down a little bit coming into the yard, because now we're coming into Arlington Yard. You can see engines here laying over, a caboose track. And I think in the background you'll see some differences from previous videos. We added street lights, we lit the buildings, we added some scenery, trees, vegetation, interiors to the building. You got a little scene of people eating at the restaurant outdoors. And then I'm going to back up and we'll come along into Arlington Yard. You see buildings in the backdrop, lighted. In the foreground, we've got a train ready to go out on the next run. So that's why you see, that's the train order on the left, and there's our car cards and waybills on the right. And the station building is now lit, the platform is lit, street lights in the back. So another member and I have spent many hours lighting buildings in here in Arlington. And we have a bus, a 12-volt bus running around the layout for accessories like switch machines and building lights. And we even lit the buildings over here. We have a house, a trailer, and I think all three houses are lit. And then over here, the switch. I had something covering that light in there, the LED. I put a cabinet in front of it. I don't know what happened. So now we're heading out of Arlington, coming around the end of the aisle here. And we're going to enter Quarry in just a minute. And Quarry, there hasn't been any changes in Quarry yet from the last video. And this is a model of an actual, an actual quarry in Middlebury, Vermont. And we come along by Armstrong Farm. This section here was actually 2 6-foot modules that we used to take to shows. You can see the line right going up right there. And then we come around through what we call Dana's Gulch, named for one of our members. Another member and I spent a few weeks, couple of months scenicking this area. Dana had it roughed out. We added the trees and the rock, what do you call it, coloration, and the details. You got people up there hiking, watching the train go by. And then we come into Newton. Newton hasn't changed much. This again was 2 sections of a module that we used to take around to shows. One thing that's changed quite a bit on this is if you look at the backdrop and compare it to the previous video from 4 years ago. That's Newton. We haven't got around to lighting the buildings here at Newton. That's next on, well, I don't know about next, but it's on the list. We haven't got the crossing lights working here yet. That is next on the list. And last time the covered bridge wasn't completed, but now she is. We're in Vermont, we've got to have a covered bridge somewhere. And we come along, and this is called Mitchell Switch. Mitchell Switch is named after a former member. And we pass Lewis Lake, named after a current member. I always blow the horn as we go by the lake for the folks fishing in there. And if you notice, up on the upper left, we got a crew working on painting the backdrop. They're pretty slow. And this is an unnamed portion of the layout. And this will probably get a crossing flasher one of these months, maybe in 2025. Now, while I'm stopped here, just north of Plainfield, I thought I would show you some things that have changed big time since our last visit. Right up there. That used to be another office upstairs. That is now our dispatcher booth up there. And the dispatcher can look out over the layout and throw things at us if we're not following instruction. Otherwise, we do have radios that we use during operating sessions. So let's get the train going again down here and see some more changes. I can't remember what was happening here last time, in the last video, but that backdrop is all fairly recent, in the last 5 years or so. And we changed some of the scenery in here. We added lights to the buildings. This is the town of Plainfield. Plainfield was part of our old operations, our old layout. We used to be in another part of this building, and we got told to leave, so we came down here, up here actually. It was down in the basement of the building. Now, this is downtown Plainfield. We changed some of the buildings. Obviously, we added lights and interior photographs. Looks like the Rexall Drugs is shut down. No, there are lights on in there. Okay. And we changed the scenery in the back there. But this is going to have to change soon. And I'm going to explain to you why in a few minutes here. You can see we added, again, lights. And a little bit of, scenery material. Now I'm going to stop the train before it gets too far ahead of me. And what I'm going to do, stop. So right now, temporarily, the main line goes through the wall. And it did previously. But what's going to happen is the main line is going to change, and it's going to be the gray track, the track with the gray ballast down here. My hand's over here, come on. Right there. Whoop. Down, down, down. There we go. That track right there is going to be the main line. And the track is going to go, I'll show you. But what we're going to have to do when that happens, scenery-wise here, is that depot, nicely glued down to the layout, is going to have to move somewhere over here. I think probably right here. These buildings are going to have to move, go somewhere else, and the station is going to have to be right here by the switch, I think. And then what's going to happen, and hopefully next update, you'll see it. You're going to see the changes here in a second, what's happening. So we used to have industry right here behind this. This is a pillar in the building, support post. Well, what's going to happen is the main line is going to come through here. And we have the bench work down, you can see. And this area in here used to be our meeting room. And the old south staging yard used to be over on that far wall where those grain hoppers are. It's now behind me. So this used to be, again, this used to be our meeting room. The meeting room is now upstairs. And this is going to be 3 towns in this area. There's going to be another peninsula coming out in the middle of the room. We're going to have a town right here to our left. We're going to have a town right here to my right in here. And the main line is going to come along here. And then in through here. And around and around and around. And it'll come out somewhere where that pencil sharpener is, most likely. If not, a little closer to us from the pencil sharpener. But right now, let's follow our train. Where are you? Coming through the hole? Yep. The hole in the wall main line. There it is. Right now we just have bare sub-road bed running over to our staging yard. And probably in 2025, this will be at least trackage in here and going around the end of the wall down there. Meanwhile, let's get back to our train. There's not much to see, just plywood and choo-choos. Pick up the pace a little bit here. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a town here where that floodlight is. And that's going to be the town of Bridgeport. Yeah, Bridgeport. You are standing right here. And Bridgeport is going to have probably some switches, some industries, some things to do. One of which will be the wood chip loading facility, which will be right there, where that wood chip car is. For the wood chips that go over to the wood chip generating electrical generation station. And then in here, you can see we have a Walther's turntable sitting there. We're going to have a turntable so we can turn around our engines from the staging yard. And over in the background there, I guess there's going to be some tracks for maintenance away cars. One of the club members loves maintenance away cars and has made oodles of them. And then what you're seeing right there is the yard throat for Mechanicville Yard. So all of our south end staging is here. The old Mechanicville Yard had about 6 tracks, maybe 8, and we have now 12 tracks. 2 are just runaround tracks for our trains to go do their switching and then set back up. So we have a runaround track. We're coming into it right now. We have a runaround track in the foreground. We have a runaround track on the far side. And there's Mechanicville Yard. Now this is, I don't know if previously I've done an overall overview of the layout, but this is what the layout room looks like. Again, that's the dispatcher's booth up there. Club meeting rooms up there as well. That used to be a psychologist room up there. Office, I should say. Oops, wrong way. And that's kind of an overview of the layout. There's our toolboxes and all that good stuff. The main entryway, there's our throttles. You can see we use North Coast. The main entryway right there. And we come in here. Hey, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up down below. It helps the club. It makes us feel good, like we're reaching out to people. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions, leave them down below too. Where is that? Down there. Leave a comment, question, suggestion down there. And I answer all the questions. I read them all. And hopefully I'll have an answer if you have a question. Anyways, I hope you have fun with your model railroading out there. And please check back with us, see if we have any updates in the future. Or any how-to videos. Sometimes we post those too. Take care. Have fun with your model railroading. Bye for now. We do have the opportunity or the option of run-through operations by going into this siding here. This is basically a Y. It goes into there, and I'll show you in just a second. And then through Dana's Gulch. Past the 2 rock climbers over there and the hikers. And I usually toot the horn when I go through here. I didn't today because there's a rail fan down there in the junction taking pictures. And then our train comes out here in the hole in the wall. It's called Maple Junction. You can see that says to the Plainfield Y somewhere under there. Oh, I'm seeing vestiges of a headlight. Where'd it go? There it is. The headlight on that engine keeps shutting off. That's like the 3rd time that's happened. And then we come out over here at Evergreen.